Hello everyone, welcome to Silver Arrow Tarot. It's Amanda and I am back with another pick a card. Today I felt inspired to do a topic which kind of came to me while I was falling asleep, and it was all about how do you process your emotions. Now you might say, well, I already know how I process my emotions. Isn't that kind of obvious? So this particular reading is all about how you process your emotions, and maybe something you don't know, a tendency you have, or just a natural inclination towards processing your emotions in a particular way that is most optimal for you. So you might learn a new skill, or like a new process, or just be open to what comes forward. And I'm going to be doing that as well. So I'm interested to see what kind of answers we get from the tarot, from spirit. That is the topic for today. So I am going to be using the spirit animal oracle from Colette Baron Reed. We'll be using the black and gold tarot, and we'll be using the sacred symbols tarot oracle deck for everyone. So I will be back in just a second with your piles. All right, bye. Hi guys, so here are your piles, and I already did all of the readings, and so I'm just allowing you guys to pick the one of the four, or multiple if you are drawn. And I'm going to do a little bit of a spray, Archangel Raphael, for you. So taking some deep breaths, centering in, calling in your higher self, calling in your guides of highest love and integrity to join you, and picking your pile. And we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy your reading, and let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Bye. Hello, beautiful pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to dive right into all of your cards. We have lots of cards. My apologies, they don't quite all fit here, but I will show them all to you. So your gold and black tarot, you have the 2 of Cups in reverse, and we have the 6 of Swords in reverse, and you have Queen of Wands in reverse, and you have the Emperor here for your tarot. Now for your animal oracles, you have Skunk Spirit, Know Your Worth. You have Whale Spirit, Trust the Great Mystery. We have Parrot Spirit, Watch Your Words. You have Hummingbird Spirit, Be Here Now. And we have Giraffe Spirit, See the Big Picture. And for your sacred symbols, you have Power, which goes nicely with the Emperor. You have Morning Star. You have Growth. You have Grounded. You have Bird and Basket. And you have Breakthrough. All right, beautiful guys. So the first thing that I am seeing for you is that when I was tuning in, I actually saw a picture related to this card of a teenager with braces. That coupled with some of these other cards, watch your words, power, and breakthrough, and this card here, which I heard like a sense, I had a sense of sort of walking away, being kind of impulsive. So you might have a tendency, this group, to kind of be very immediate with your expression of feelings. I definitely got a sense here with power that you have strong emotions that come up very quickly and very fast, and you don't censor too much when this happens, so you express how you're feeling in the moment, which is not a bad thing at all. Like, a lot of us have issues with, having to suppress ourselves. So it makes me think of a teenager who, teenagers are known to sort of be more impulsive, more expressive, have outbursts that, can be seen as problematic. But ultimately, the truth is that this is a great benefit to you because you're not suppressing. And we all know what happens when you suppress emotions. They can lead to very bad outcomes, developing illnesses, and the things like that. So this is not a bad trait. However, it is something that your spirit guides, your angels, your guides are wanting to make you aware of, that this immediacy can sometimes be something that needs to be maybe tempered a bit. You might get into relationship issues when you speak brutally honest truths. You're in the moment truth, and it can be possibly hurtful to someone. So yeah, they're asking you to really start to maybe take a pause, be here in the now, take a breath, take a moment before you express, so that it gives you time to find a bit of a more objective perspective on your feelings and the situation, because the danger is obviously that our immediate reaction can sometimes be not an accurate reflection of the truth of the situation, right? We can jump to conclusions. We can see things, we can see things based off of our past conditioning, and maybe not what the actual person really meant. Didn't mean to trigger something in you, a feeling or response. It wasn't meant that way. So there's some growth there. Advice is, to be maybe a little bit, cultivate some slowing down, some grounding, some breathing exercises to help slow the pace of things and release, not release, but like allow for time between your reaction and your response. So, with Trust the Great Mystery, there's an additional message here about trusting your emotions, and maybe not having to analyze them too much, because they are just, a flash in the pan. They don't necessarily represent the whole truth of who you are. And so sometimes you might not know why you feel angry or sad or upset or even happy. And, maybe it's not always necessary to know. You just let yourself feel it. You just let yourself be there in the moment with it, and know that everything is working out perfectly for you. And it's not necessary to maybe always dig down into each and every response. Just trust yourself. I think that's the general message, that these emotions are happening for a reason, and we don't always have to mentalize it or logicalize it and contextualize it into some greater picture. Our emotions are what they are, and sometimes just having that attitude towards them as if they are waves on a shore. They come in, they go out, right? And that's okay. And you can have a little bit more peace, knowing that, a little bit more grace with yourself, with the world, if you can allow yourself to have that perspective. I really feel here with know your worth is also, you might be at times down on yourself for these the way that you process your emotions and the emotions that you feel in general, and it might have an effect on your self-confidence because of the way that you handle your emotions. You may have been told a lot that the way that you handle your emotions is wrong or inappropriate. So I want to bring forth this message that there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, and I hope that I conveyed that earlier, that this is actually the way that you tend to process your emotions is actually a huge benefit to you in the long run, because you're not holding things back and you're not letting them fester and become bigger than they are, in terms of creating a dis-ease or disharmony within your body, within your system, and within your relationships. It's much better to get things out in the open early, even when things are small. And if certain people in your life can't handle that and aren't equipped to deal with that, then maybe it's a good thing that that, so you can put them in the proper context within your life, and maybe not put them at the center of your world, and find people that can, hold space for you and your big emotions, because big emotions they're not a bad thing at all. They're very beautiful. I think that people that can feel a lot and feel strongly, that's quite a beautiful expression and a beautiful gift you can bring to the world. All right, guys, so your final cards are Burden, Basket here, and Breakthrough. So let's think about this here. What so these two cards, I feel like, are saying, like, you can unload your burdens, and that actually allows you to bring through, like, have more breakthroughs in your life more often, with regards to your relationships and your, everything in your life, really. You can move forward easier, quicker. Things don't get stuck. You don't get stuck as often as other people do, because you let yourself feel your feelings. Just to be aware, that this is your tendency, and maybe if you feel it is sometimes hindering you in some ways, there are techniques and ways that you can maybe start to have a little bit more of a space between and any kind of explosive outburst and your words, like, so that you might be able to express yourself in a way that people can receive a little bit easier. But for the most part, I don't really feel that this is, for this pile, is a huge negative. I think it's a huge positive. All right, guys, so that was your reading. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next one. All right, bye. Hi, beautiful pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. And we will get into all the messages. I'm already receiving lots of stuff, so let's look at it. We have the Page of Cups here in reverse, and the 10 of Wands in reverse. You have the 5 of Pentacles also in reverse, and we have the Magician for your final gold tarot. Let's look at your animals. You have frog spirit, clear out the clutter. You have life is a mystery, bobcat. You have turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. You also have fox spirit, think on your feet. And we have hummingbird, be here now, which pile 1 also got. And pile 1 also got breakthrough, so interesting there. For your symbol oracles, you have spirits, you have void, you have meditate, and you have, of course, the breakthrough again. Big message here. I've been seeing this a lot, me personally, in my readings. Okay, guys, so the first thing I'm seeing for our pile 2 is that there might be a tendency for you to really tend to want to swallow and suppress your emotional expressions. I'm really feeling that strongly. As I tapped into this card, it was like, I felt like my body was like putting pressure downward towards my, keeping things in my stomach and lower. So I really do feel like this may be a pattern of yours in the past, or still currently something that you deal with, a tendency that you have, a way that you are with regards to processing your emotions. And that is that as creating a lot of weight that needs to be released, especially here. This frog spirit really kind of makes me also very I feel very similarly, because it says clear out the clutter. So I feel like that's another message for you. Is like there's a lot that needs to be kind of unpacked and let go of and released. And I feel, I think of frogs, and I think of the medicine, the frog medicine, the combo. I think about, poison darts, and I feel like there's a message here around, swallowing your emotions can be poisonous to you. So it's very important that we learn to get our emotions out of us so they do not become poisonous to our system and cause dis-ease or unwellness, physical or otherwise. That is something that I personally have worked a lot with. It's interesting. It's interesting because pile 1 was, had the opposite tendency. So Very interesting. And pile one also got a similar message here with Bobcat. They didn't get Bobcat, but life is a mystery. So I feel like embracing the mystery might be helpful for you in an opposite sense of what I talked about for pile one, but in the sense that if you can have some grace with yourself, I don't want you to start putting, listening to me and listening to this reading and being like, okay, now I have to like try to like put all this pressure on myself to start to express, because that can be difficult when we aren't used to expressing our emotions. We might not even know what we're feeling. We might be very unfamiliar sometimes with what emotion that we are feeling. So it's important, I feel like, for this pile to remember that it's okay to not know. It's okay to have it be a learning process and a self-discovery process, learning about yourself, and go very gently and very slowly with yourself. Let's see, what else you have. I wanted to talk about meditate here for a second before I forget. So with this card, I'm really feeling like your guides and your guides and your angels and your spirit team really want you to know that like this can be the way that you process your emotions is not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you more space, if you can bring it into more balance, but like it does give you a time and a space to process your feelings, because you're not the kind of person that's necessarily gonna like spout off without thinking. You have more time to really delve into these mysteries, these unknown feelings, get to know them, journal them, write about them, use them in your art and your music, and that can be your healthy outlet. Doesn't necessarily have to affect your personal relationships. So with the Magician card here, I really feel that again, this, like I was saying, you have this opportunity to use your emotional content of your life and your being in a very alchemical way. You can use it to create art. You can use it to manifest. I'm seeing like with the fox spirit here to think on your feet, like you can be a little bit more calculating because you have a little bit more space between feeling and expressing. It's not something that just immediately spurts out of you, so you have a chance to really be mindful and a little bit, I don't want to use the word clever because I feel like that has negative connotations, but yeah, be a little bit more discerning and thoughtful. I think thoughtful would be the good word here. Thoughtful and with your emotional expressions. And as always, Spirit's here to say like, be in the now. Be in the now with your feelings. Try to feel them, even if it's difficult. Don't suppress them. Allow yourself to feel what's happening, even if you don't necessarily immediately jump to an action or a outward expression. This can be a very internal thing. I feel like for you, your internal world, the things going on that no one is really seeing. You might be very calm on the surface of the water, but there's a lot going on underneath. So this might be as a result as well of some trauma in your childhood, perhaps abandonment issues, and possibly a fear of rejection, of if you were to express your emotions, it may have been likely that you were not received very well. So there is a message here around allowing yourself to give something of yourself to others, because even if it's slow and small at first, being able to open up and express your authentic truth, which is your authentic truth is always going to come from your emotional body. You know, whatever you're feeling, that is the authentic you. Even if it's just anger in that moment, it doesn't mean that you're angry all the time or you hate a person or whatever. That's just your, it's your truth, and things come and they go. And if you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that can hold that and allow that part of you to come out and through, without judgment and without, making it mean something about them. You're allowed to have your emotional expression. That's a right that you have as a human being. You have emotions. Everyone has emotions. The idea that we don't get angry, or that we don't feel jealous, that we don't feel envious, or we don't ever have hate, or we don't we all feel these things. Whether people are sharing them or not is another story, but we all have them. It's human. Even the most exalted guru on the planet is experiencing their internal reality, and they're just really adept, and they're really masterful at being able to manage their emotions and feel their emotions and let them go, and have them have their proper place in their life. It's just your emotions are just a guidance system that helps you move in the right directions in your life, and is telling you, what's happening. So if you're triggered by somebody, and they didn't mean harm, and they were not meaning to be disrespectful or rude or whatever, but that's how it hit you, then that's just an indication of where you can do some more inner work, and maybe look at why that struck a chord with you, and it just points you in the direction of an inner child that may need a little bit of love, a little bit of care, and healing. So these are not bad things. Emotions are not bad. No emotion is bad. We all here on planet Earth feel all of the emotions. So allow yourself the grace to do that, and without judgment. All right, guys, that is all I'm seeing for you. I just, I think that there are opportunities for you with this breakthrough card. Once you become aware of your tendencies to have a lot of breakthroughs with your emotions. I keep getting this repeating message for all of the piles that this is the way through any obstacle, is learning how to work with your emotional processing style, and having awareness about it. This is going to help you move through any challenges, any obstacles, and create breakthroughs in your life. All right, guys, that's all I'm seeing for pile 2. Thank you so much. It was an honor to read your cards, and I hope you'll join me again in the next one. All right, bye. Hello, beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we are going to look at your cards, and we're going to see how you process your emotions. So your first cards here from the Gold Tarot, we have 4 of Wands, Some very nice cards, I have to say. The Judgment in reverse. And we have the Sun, which is the most positive card in the whole tarot. It's a beautiful card. And we have the Nine of Swords. You also have the Peacock Spirit, which goes very nicely with this Sun card. You have Be Loyal to What You Love with this Dog Spirit. You have Fox Spirit, Think on Your Feet. We also have Porcupine, Time for a Beginner Mind. And lastly, Slow and Steady Wins the Race with Turtle Spirit. And from your sacred symbols, we have Boundaries. We have Grounded. We have Blessings. And we have End Strife. All right, so let's take a look and pull it all together. Pile 3. So the first thing I was hearing was Happily Ever After with this Four of Wands. And I also am seeing a lot around maybe someone who has some walls. So with this looks like kind of like a fence, and we have the porcupine, which, you know, porcupines have a very strong defense with their quills covering their whole back, as well as the Nine of Swords here was someone that looks like they are sort of protected by these swords. They're not in the best position. But overall, I think what I sense with you guys is that you are very positive, generally very positive people. You have a lot to share, a lot of blessings to share. You have a lot of light to shine. You're very loyal. You're very just an energy that a lot of people want to be around. With this Sun card, I really get the sense that you are very attractive and magnetic, and you have a lot of joy and a lot of love to give and to spread, and that's your nature. But I am getting that something happened here with some kind of situation that you may have thought was going to work out, some kind of commitment with a person, and that really, what I heard with the Judgment is it really sunk. It felt like your boat was sunk, but I also was hearing like your boat is not sunk. So you may have gone through a difficult time in love or in relationships, not being able to, or have learned a hard lesson about trusting people and letting people in, because with an energy like this, you're going to be magnetic to a lot of different types of people, and so it's really quite imperative that people that have such a high shine learn boundaries, learn how to discern, and learn how to have appropriate filters with who gets let into their life, because you can get hurt by people that don't necessarily have your best interest. They're just looking to reap the rewards of being around someone that has this much good energy. So I feel like this has maybe impacted how you deal with your emotions or how you shine your light. With the Peacock reversed here, you may have been going through a time where you don't shine so much of your joy, so much of your love. You're not sure who to give it to. So you might be holding yourself back from going out there and giving yourself to others, giving your wisdom and your light and joy to others because of this experience. So the cards are saying that this is an experience that's developing you to learn to discern, learn to think, and learn to be very discerning and deliberate about who you give your time and your energy to, and who deserves this shiny, beautiful part of you. At the same time, I feel that your spirit guides do want you to slowly start to open yourself back up again and start to trust yourself again and come from a space of a fresh slate, clearing the hurts, clearing the wounds, so that you can learn to open back up and be open-hearted and generous and believe in the goodness of people, and not holding people too much at bay, for that maybe they have, maybe you have something good to give them. It's just about having appropriate boundaries and knowing how, your closest circle of people that get all of you, and then, consecutive circles of people that get maybe a little bit less access to you until, we get to the point where it's like the ring of people that don't get the access. They don't get the full vulnerability, and they don't get the full experience of you, and that's okay. Not everyone is entitled to access to your kind of generosity and beauty and love. And you're allowed to have people that are devoted and loyal and who deserve what you have to give. So so this reading here really feels like a message for you about the fact that this difficult time or experience can come to an end now. You're developing, because of this experience, you developed more groundedness in who you are and who you want, and more clarity, and that's you are now anchoring this in with stronger boundaries and a stronger knowing of the kind of blessings that you offer to people. And it's okay now to move forward and to start again and to allow people into your life. Right? We don't have to be stuck in this Nine of Swords energy forever. It was a difficult moment, and it grew you, and you learned from it. So don't stop shining. Like the overall message here basically for you is, don't stop shining your light and your joy and expressing the beautiful you that you are, and giving your beautiful gifts to the world and to your family and your friends and the people that matter. All right, this was a beautiful reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. It was an honor, as always, to read your cards, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye. Hello, beautiful pile 4. Welcome to your reading. All right, we are going to take a look at your cards, and we will get into all of the messages that I am getting. So, very different pile than all of the rest of them. But let's take a look. You have your first card, the 4 of Pentacles, upright. We have the Empress in reverse. All right. You have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Sorry, Seven of Pentacles. Now we have for your spirit, animal spirits, we have Scarab Beetle, magic works through you. We have Cow Spirit, miracles are endless. Horse Spirit, freedom is yours. The Luna Moth, surrender now. And Armadillo, set healthy boundaries. And for your final sacred symbols, we have Goddess, Fire, Focus, and Gift. Okay, so guys, for right off the bat here with the Four of Pentacles, I am getting the message around the way that you process emotions. It feels a little bit stuck. I'm getting that you tend to feel like you don't have enough space or time to properly dedicate or focus on your emotions. And yeah, there's a sense of a lack of flow here. You're kind of this wheel feels like it's maybe stopped, like you've energetically, you're like slowing or stopping the wheel of fortune to move forward. So it's like yeah, there's a little bit of uncertainty around feeling like an abundance of time and space to feel these things and move them through you. There's a sense of hard work here. So I do think that you work really hard at like feeling your feelings and like giving them this, like wanting to give them like the space that you feel that they are worthy of and that they're due. And that you really are dedicated to this process. I get the sense that you have been really working at it, and it's something that's really important to you. And it's almost I get maybe a little bit of sense of like over prioritize, or like feeling like I have to do this in a really specific way. Because with all of these cards that talk about magic and miracle and freedom and surrender, I just feel like there's a message here for you around allowing more flow, and allowing things to be a little bit more organic, and kind of giving yourself a little bit of a break on this emotional process that you're going through and or working on or developing. Yeah, I feel like there is a way to maybe bring a little bit more balance for you with regards to feeling your feelings and processing your emotions. There is a slight nod here to maybe having a little bit more of healthy boundaries. There might be certain people in your life that you need to give them more of a a sense that you need this, and you need time to be alone, or you need time to process. certain feelings, and that it's not personal to them. It's just that it's something that you need for yourself. So there might be a little bit of that going on, but I also want to encourage you to think in terms of, because I feel like there's a message here for transmutation, that you have the capacity here with this goddess and this fire, and this focus to process things a lot faster than you think you can. And that it might be a little bit more of an easeful process for you than you originally thought. There are a lot of techniques out there that don't necessarily involve with like going back and really delving deeply into every single feeling and an emotion and like experience and where did that come from. And once you get to a certain point in your spiritual awakening, you can start to allow these things to sort of flow through you and transmute with more ease and more it's more of a, I guess, what's the word, like just organic and less laborious. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Less laborious processes that don't take up quite so much time, quite so much energy, and you can let your body sort of do the work for you, and like let your higher self, support you, and let your guides, call upon your guides, your angels, your spirit team, and allow these things to sort of flow and move through you. There's this definite message with the horse that you can have a lot more freedom than you are maybe giving yourself right now. Surrendering to the feeling, not having to necessarily dissect it or know exactly where it's coming from, and just allowing it to be there and feel it fully and then release it. Sometimes that's all that's necessary, because I sense that you are someone here, especially with having this goddess card, is someone who definitely is a high priestess, and with the Empress, someone who is a highly developed spiritual being. And so you've been around the block. You've been here more than once. And so these things, these transmutational techniques and energies and like processes are kind of organic to you if you allow yourself to just do what intuitively feels good. Maybe that day is just dancing your emotions, or doing gentle stretches or yoga, or we can tend to really mentalize and complicate these things. And sometimes it's just as simple as like just putting on some music and dancing and just turning off your brain and letting it flow out of you, and getting yourself into a higher vibration, a different state of being. And with this focus card, I really feel like again, it's another way to transmute, just by setting your intention, like, okay, I am intending to release this. I'm intending to let this go. I'm intending to let this feeling move through me. I've moved a lot of things just by putting my hands on the earth and just saying, allowing Mother Earth to take and transmute and alchemize it and turn it back into love. And you're kind of surrendering and giving the process up to a higher power. I really feel that you're capable of doing this with these cards, and that is one of your gifts. That's one of your powers. That's one of your blessings for this life. So it doesn't have to be quite so hard doesn't have to be difficult. And if you're already doing these things, if you're like, I already do this, then this is just confirmation. This is just a reading of confirmation that, like, hey, this, you know what you're doing. You definitely know what you're doing. You understand how to use your magic and call upon miracles from the higher realms, from your spirit team. This is, you're a person that knows how to do this. You're a being that knows how to do this. You can alchemize your feelings, your emotions. You can process this way. And it doesn't have to be super laborious and hard. All right, guys, so I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. It was an honor, as always, to read your cards. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.